Hi, my name is Sean Linden. I'm the writer and director of Hunter x Hunter, and you are listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 335, where tonight we are talking about 2000's Hollow Man. I am here, of course, as always, with Steve and Todd. Gentlemen, how are we this week?
It's a little hot outside. I think speak for
Oh,
all three
yeah.
of us. It's
The heat dome. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
that's well, that's a
How,
sexual move as well, but I didn't know that was a weather term.
how hot are we
Heat
talking
dome.
about with you guys? I mean, if it's 111 here in Canada, it's probably
Oh,
fucking brutal where you are.
Fahrenheit 111?
Fahrenheit, yeah. I mean, kidding me? You'd be
Holy
fucking
sh-
dead. 111.
Well, I don't know the Celsius. What would Celsius be?
Like
What's
44,
that?
I think.
Okay, that doesn't make it makes zero sense, Steve.
How do you make
We're
zero sense?
sticking we were sticking with our bald eagle units here.
Yeah, right?
No, you're way hotter than me. I'm at like 94, 95 today, and 99 on Friday supposedly. Damn, 100 and oof, brutal.
Yeah, well, that's
yeah.
the humidex. That's like with humidity and stuff.
Yeah, the real feel or whatever. Still,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
awful.
Yeah. Same as Totter. We're like 90, high 90s today. I think it's going to hit almost 100 tomorrow. And then we're
Yeah.
cooling off on Friday for the big Celtics parade
Oh.
for you sports
Ooh.
fans. I don't know if I'll actually attend it, but
Boston.
go Celtics.
Yeah.
Steve, movie club coming up,
Yes.
right? Very
Yeah,
soon.
it's coming out a week from the day this episode releases. I'm just gathering like nominations, what people want to watch. I'll put it up to a vote sometime over the weekend, and next week we'll have the actual movie club. The theme for this month is going to be mainstream film. So people wanted something a little bit more mainstream. I guess they were tired of the indie shit I've been putting up lately. But yeah, so I'm gonna, if no one puts up nominations, I'm gonna do it myself. Just find more mainstream stuff, like Hatchet or things like that. So
Yeah, cool.
it'll
Fun.
be a fun time.
Awesome. One last thing I do want to mention before we head into what watched. Bonus event for Hocus Pocus weekend. I think I've mentioned this before, but it wasn't finalized. But yeah, we are going to be doing a screening on Sunday, October 13th, of course, of It's Just a Bunch of Halloween weekend in Salem, Massachusetts. It's going to be a whole, obviously, amazing weekend of events. But Sunday, they have added a screening to the Cabot Theater in Beverly, Massachusetts. Tickets will be on sale the day you hear this recording. They officially go on sale to the public, so you will be able to grab them. Just head over to itsjustabunchofhalloween.com for that. If you can attend just one event over the whole weekend, that is definitely the event you want to attend because we will be hosting that event. We're very excited for that. We will be hosting the Q&A prior to the screening, and then during commentary, we will be on stage, sort of, asking questions, filling time if things quiet down from the cast and stuff like that. Although I don't expect it because they are all very animated people and whatnot, but we will be up there. It'll be an awesome time. So come and join us. Once again, it's just a bunch of Halloween weekend. It's just a bunch of Halloween.com for all details. All right, gentlemen, let's get into the show. What you been watching this week?
I'll lead us off. I started a Walking Dead rewatch because I don't know, I always forget 8 or 9 seasons in, haven't watched any of the new ones. I'm like, it's been so long. It's been like when did that show air? Like 2009,
Yeah,
10?
first season. Yeah.
Gosh, it's been a long time. So I restarted that. We are currently in season 3, watching it mostly with my son, who's pretty into it. But I'll start with season 1 this week. Yeah, season 1's fucking a banger, dude. Some of the best TV of all time. Um, yeah, by now you should know the basic story, but Rick Grimes, police officer, wakes up in a coma in a hospital in the middle of a zombie epidemic, whatever you want to call it. And he has no idea what's going on, and he just knows his family is missing, so he's trying to like go out there and find them. Gosh, damn. Production value is amazing. Writing's awesome. Frank Darabont, showrunner at the time, was freaking phenomenal. The cast is like super cool. Glenn's cool. Merle, piece of shit, but great actor. Obviously Andrew Lincoln's awesome. Daryl, Andrea, all of them. It's just Shane, John Berthol's like, I think he's my favorite actor now, man. Every time I see him in something, he's just like he's got this intensity that is like unrivaled. Season 1 is easily, well, I mean, so far, so through season 1 through 3, it's obviously the standout because it sets a tone for everything. And yeah, man, I think, I mean, Steve, you're current with it, but
Mhm.
does anything get close to surpassing season 1 as far as quality in Walking
I'm
Dead?
I'm a Walking Dead stan, but
Mhm.
season 1 is like near perfect. Like it sells such a good contained story. Especially the pilot, man. Maybe one of
Oof.
the best pilots ever. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
definitely up there. Maybe with Lost as my two
I was
favorite
gonna say
pilots.
Lost is fucking good too.
Yeah, it sets up the world in a really clever way. Like you're kind of learning the rules of the apocalypse in like Rick's shoes, as he's figuring stuff out. There's emotional moments, like even such an easy moment as one of the first zombies he sees is the so-called bicycle girl. It's like this half cut up girl that's really decomposing in a park. And at the end of the episode, he goes back to like take her out of her misery. It's
I'm
just a
sorry this happened to you,
yeah, it's such a good arc. Like it's
Rick.
such a fucking great season. So I'd say no. It's probably the
Yeah.
best season, but there are seasons that are really solid as well, like in the future.
Yeah, Morgan and his son are amazing in
Mm,
this.
yeah.
In season 1, it's just oh man, it's just fantastic. Like I forgot how freaking good it was. And then I'll say season 2. I'll do one season a week, or as long as I fast I can get through 'em. So season 1 is a perfect 5 out of 5. The only really gripes I have is I don't like a song choice, stuff like that. But other than that, it's phenomenal. So season 1, man, yeah, it's fucking cool. So 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in so long, but I would agree, man. Season 1 of Walking Dead was just fantastic. And the zombies look awesome. Just everything about that is just fantastic. Led to definitely some like a lot of iconic stuff, that, still to this day you hear, don't open dead inside.
Mm.
It's don't dead
Don't
open
die over.
inside,
Yeah.
however you want to read,
So, quick question for you guys: do you think horror television is what it is today if The Walking Dead hadn't broken through and become so popular at that time?
I mean,
What do
yeah,
we
no.
have currently? Like besides, obviously Walking Dead spawned off an entire universe, but
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
just
trying to
saying,
think
like,
of like yeah,
horror shows weren't like mainstream at that time,
sure.
like no one would
Yeah,
accept a horror show. But then The Walking Dead came through, and I mean, of course, horror fans watched it, but non-horror fans started watching it,
Mhm.
and that really
mhm,
paved the way for things like American Horror Story and Stranger
sure.
Things in some form. And
Yeah.
I don't know, one needs to always break kind of the wall, and I think that one did that
Mhm.
for the horror genre anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. Go ahead, Dad, sorry.
no, I was gonna say like I agree, but I think it was at least in my or our generation, my generation, whatever. It's one of those shows that like the first cultural phenomenon,
Mhm.
where like everyone was talking about it. Like, and then later on we had Game of Thrones, obviously, stuff like that. But I feel like Walking Dead maybe Lost a little bit before that.
Yeah, for me anyway, Lost was definitely the first one where
Mhm.
everyone was fucking
Hmm.
talking about it when it was airing.
Yeah, but
I'd have
Walking Dead.
lost watching parties with my friends.
Oh yeah, that's stuff.
Yeah.
Walking Dead though, like yeah, to your point, I talked about Walking Dead with a lot of people that were not horror fans. Like everyone was watching it, everyone's super into it. So I think yeah, it definitely did the renaissance for zombies again as well, for better or for worse. I know
Definitely.
like a lot of people started hating on the later seasons, which I agreed with. Like I kind of lost interest, but then the last season I watched was actually really good. So I'm like, let's start over and go from there.
Awesome. All right, my first one tonight is a 2024 release, and it is Arcadian, starring Nicolas Cage. This one I saw the trailer for, and it sort of came and went. I hadn't heard sort of a lot of people talking about it, and then I saw it was on VOD recently. So you can. It's currently not available to stream free anywhere. I always find it funny too when people say, stream free anywhere because other than Tubi, you are paying for these services.
We had this
Um,
argument on the other
yeah,
show. Yeah.
right, yeah. But it isn't, so it's not available to like stream free anywhere currently, but you can watch it for a $6.99 rental over on Prime, YouTube, whatever. But yeah, so this one is about Nick Cage and his two sons during the this apocalypse sort of starts. We're kind of thrust right into it. At the beginning of this movie, we really don't know what is going on. It's just sort of pandemonium right away. And then, it kind of starts off with Nick Cage sort of running around. He has his 2 baby sons, and then it's very brief, and then we flash forward to about, I think it's 15 or 16 years later. The kids obviously now are becoming young men, and they have basically buried down the hatches in a sort of farmhouse they found that they've sort of equipped and set up, obviously, to live in this new world. There is another family in a farmhouse not far away that one of the younger son goes to, basically because he has a little ditty on the side there that he's kind of fallen in love with. So, but yeah, basically in this world, it's a la sort of a quiet place where at night, rather than, obviously you gotta be quiet in a quiet place. In this world, at night, it comes at night, as they would say. Every single night, these creatures show up, attempting essentially to find people and kill them, or just break into houses and kill them. So it's basically a tale of survival, between, with Nick Cage and his sons, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, overall, I wasn't expecting too much out of this, because I'm like, I mean, it's basically going to be sort of a Quiet Place type of ripoff, which in a lot of ways it kind of is. But I still really enjoyed it. I think it moves at a very nice pace. I think it's slightly under 90 minutes. It never is dull. There's always something interesting happening in this world. And the creatures are cool. Like, they don't shy away from showing the creatures at all, and they're pretty fucking cool looking. Although some of the decisions they made with them I found to be a little goofy. Some people might find it awesome, but I found it to be a little too over the top for me. Obviously they're CGI, but I do think they look fairly well, and they do some really, really cool stuff with them. So, yeah, man, overall, I really enjoyed this one. Is it going to break my top 10? I doubt it, but I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's really good. Sam loved it even more than I did. I think she probably would have ranked it even higher than me. My biggest complaint is we could have used a little more Cage. And I won't say why. We don't get him as much, just because it's kind of a spoiler.
Well,
But
let
I
me
will say
guess. He dies early.
I will say he does not die early. Okay, so I will say that.
He goes to get milk and never comes back.
No, but I mean, he is in the movie like a lot, but just not in speaking capacity as much as I would have liked him to be. But yeah, I mean, the 2 young actors, which I didn't even mention, one of the young actors is what's his face from It Chapter 1 and The Lodge there, Jada Martell, I believe is his name. He's a pretty, up and coming sort of young actor. So, and he's great in it, and the brother is really good too. So yeah, if you're into apocalyptic thrillers, this one is definitely a solid one, and yeah, I'd recommend it. So
Can I,
that's Arcadian from 2024.
nice. Can I make a guess on the plot? And to not spoil it for anyone else, you just raise your hand if I'm right.
Okay.
The reason he's not in the movie is because he gets sick or injured, so he's kind of in like a coma-like state. He has like a fever or something, and the sons have to go out to try to get like medicines or specialized help. Interesting. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens.
I may or may not have raised my hand there. You don't know.
Well, we'll just leave it
Yeah.
ambiguous.
Watch the movie and you'll
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah, but soon there'll be a video version of this, so like very
That's
soon.
right.
I think maybe,
I
2
gotta do my
weeks,
makeup.
2-3 weeks, I'd say. All right, so my first one is my June. So ever since the beginning of the year, I asked our listeners on Discord to give me a recommendation, anything they wanted, and this is the June recommendation. It comes from our friend Mondo from the Guys That Watch Movies podcast, Jedi Mind 1207, and it is 2010's Rubber, which I watched over on Amazon Prime. How the fuck do I describe this movie? I don't know, because it's a weird fucking movie. So the movie is basically, there's this group of people they have binoculars and they're watching something that we're not quite sure what they're watching. But what they do end up watching is basically this rubber tire that becomes alive and just goes about its day. It starts killing animals and breaking shit, and then goes after people, and then starts peeping on girls, and it's a weird movie. It's really about this tire that's killing like people and stuff, and while these kind of strangers are watching the events unfold from afar in the desert. I would say the movie is kind of like a meta take on inanimate objects that are become sentient in horror. Like it's kind of a whole play on how ridiculous movies like that are, and you should just kind of enjoy it for what it is. And on paper, I think I should love this movie because I love ridiculous movies of objects that come alive and kill people. But the problem is, uh, they fall into the same trap of what I don't like about those movies. In this case, you have this rubber tire, and you would think the rubber tire could have like multiple ways of dispatching with people, you know? It could roll, it's like put the head inside the tire and like roll in it, or it could have the like smack people with it or roll over people's heads with it, like all sorts of shit that you could do with the tire and it'd be really interesting, but it goes back to the same type of kill the whole fucking movie, and it's something that doesn't even make sense. Like it's weird. Like it could have been any object, and it would have been achieved the same goal. Now I know what happens at the end. I won't spoil it. I get that, but still, I think it was a missed opportunity. Cool idea. It's very artistic. Like like the best way I could describe it is like the dead don't die of inanimate object horror. um, but it is what it is. I give it 2 out of 5. It just didn't hit with me, but it might be worth watching for people who like movies like this. I just wouldn't go out of my way to recommend it. So that's Rubber.
Alrighty, and I forgot to mention season 1 Walking Dead was watched via Blu-ray. Okay. My next one is 1971's I Drink Your Blood. This one's currently on Tubi for free, which is a true free. Only have to watch ads. And Grindhouse Releasing put out a really cool Blu-ray for it, a 2-disc, which is pretty nice. Yeah, this film is about a Satanist hippie group in the 70s that, worshiping the devil, things like that. They make their way to a small town that's kind of on the verge of closing down. Like they're putting in a dam up the road, so there's a bunch of construction workers, but the dam it like cut off the town or something, so it's kind of slowly dying. So there's not a lot of people there. So they go to this town, they take over a local hotel because it's abandoned and everything, and one of the town girls like gets assaulted by them, right? So she's like, naturally upset and everything, goes back to grandpa's like, fuck that. He goes over to the fucking motel with a shotgun. He's like, you need to get the fuck out of here. They end up like beating him up and putting him on LSD and send him on his way, so he gets fucking stoned out of his mind and beaten up. So now we have this young boy, the grandson, he's like 12 or so, and he's like, oh man, I'm gonna revenge for grandpa. So he does it by killing a dog that's infected with rabies, taking the blood out of the dog, putting it in some pies, and giving the pies to the hippies, right? It makes more sense than it sounds because they have like a bakery and shit like that. And the grandpa's a fucking veterinarian. So anyway, these hippies eat the pies, they turn rabid, and they start going ape shit and going around the town killing whoever they can find, each other, and then the construction workers end up gang banging one of the girls from the hippie group. She's infected with rabies, boys. They get infected. Everyone's infected. It's kind of like a zombie movie, but it's not. And it's super cool, man. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I thought it was really dope. It's really raw. It like feels like really 70s, right? It's super gritty. Everyone's just sweating and fucking gross. And there's like a lot of um like sleaziness, and the characters are all pieces of shit, and you actually root for the young family to kill him because you just hate him so much. um the ending also like goes there, and I really appreciate that it went there. Like it goes hard, nothing like crazy or anything like that, but a lot of blood happens in it, which I appreciate. So that's I Drink in Your Blood from 71, and that is currently available on Tubi.
How do you follow that up? I don't know, but I'll follow it up with a 2024 release, another one. This one is called I Saw the TV Glow. This is an A24 movie, currently 1999 purchase, because it was basically almost like a week after theaters type thing. So yeah, this one, I'll do my best to describe this one. But basically, this one's about a young man who he's very sort of reserved, doesn't seem is kind of a loner, not very like popular at school and stuff like that. Kind of has a, I would say, strained home life where his mother's really good, but his dad seems to sort of be more on the strict side and stuff like that. Doesn't let him, you know, go to bed at, basically. So he ends up becoming sort of interested in this TV show that's really popular. The movie's set, I believe, sort of the beginning of the movie is set because we have many time jumps throughout this movie, but the beginning of this movie is set in the 90s. And there's very popular show called The Pink Opaque, which I believe that's what it was called. But essentially it's think sort of like Are You Afraid of the Dark? It would come on like late at night on Saturday nights, basically. And his father doesn't allow him to stay up to watch this show. So he ends up lying one night. He says he's sleeping over friends. He goes and meets up with this girl who he meets in high school. Not high school, like middle school, who also is sort of obsessed with this show. They watch it together. And it sort of this show sort of sets in motion the rest of this movie. He ends up becoming good friends with this girl. They bond over this TV show that it's very bizarre. Very, it's like about these two young girls who um, they have like these like they have like this sort of telekinesis, like it's like a telekinesis supernatural style type show, basically. And they bond over that. One day the girl wants to run away. He decides not to run away with her. She ends up going missing. And then we flash forward like 15 years later, and she shows up again, like out of nowhere. And she starts to be like, do you like really remember what had happened? Do you remember the pink opaque? Do you remember like certain things and stuff like that? And yeah, and I'm just gonna leave it at that because the movie, like I said, has many time jumps and stuff like that. But that's essentially sort of the basis of this movie. Is it really focuses on this television show and the bond they had and stuff like that. And sort of there's a lot of like nightmarish and weird scenes in this show, but it was like, kiddish nightmarish stuff. And I'll say it because like, I think this movie is super mismarketed, right? I think it was marketed as a horror movie, but I don't think it comes anywhere close to being a horror movie. I mean, sure, like there's some weird shit in here and definitely some fever dream stuff that is creepy, but it's not a horror movie like at all. But is it a good movie? That's that's up to the viewer because um it's not like I want to compare it a lot to Beau is Afraid because it's not like that at all, like plot wise or anything like that, but it's very set in like steeped metaphors, a lot of fever dream stuff that we got in Beau is Afraid. So you have to be on that type of journey to like a movie like this. Obviously, you have to be into art house cinema, stuff like that, or you're gonna absolutely hate this movie. No doubt about it. I think it's a good movie, right? Like at the core, because it has a good message and whatnot. Like obviously, there's this a message. It's a message that I personally couldn't connect with, and I don't want to give anything away, but I will say it's a message I couldn't personally connect with, but I could see a lot of people connecting with this movie. I'll say, especially if you are, if you're in the gay community or anything like that, I think this movie will connect with you a lot, or the trans community. So I think you know, it will connect with you if you watch a movie like this. And I could see this being like a 5-star movie or a very important movie for that community. For me, it's a solid movie, and I think it takes some really good like artistic privileges and stuff like that with with the metaphors it does convey. But as a horror movie, it's disappointing, right? And I see a lot of horror fans are gonna come and find this movie and are gonna knock it down and they're just gonna absolutely trash into it. But I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 because I do think it's a movie that I'm not soon going to forget because there is a lot of really interesting stuff in here and stuff where you're like, what the fuck is going on? But it does all come together in its own way. It's from the same director who did I think it's called The World's Fair or At the End of the World's Fair, which I did review on this podcast, not on a What Watch, maybe last year or the year before. And she is doing some really, really interesting stuff. And I'm excited to see what she does next. I think she has a lot of potential. I like this more than that first movie she did. So, yeah, I mean, I would recommend this one to certain people, but certainly not horror fans or like normies, I guess you could call it, say like mainstream movie fans, because they're not going to enjoy this. But you'll know, like if you just heard my review and you're like, oh, that sounds cool, or it's about as A24 as A24 gets. I'll say that.
All right. So my last one this week, we're done the Romero retrospective. I'm just about done moving. So now my focus is working on my 1960s list because we are doing our top of the 60s episode in mid to late August. So one of the movies that I watched is 1964's Children of the Damned, which I watched over on VOD. It's a pretty cheap rental on VOD. So this story is about these professors who are testing children, like aptitude tests, like puzzles and stuff like that. And there's this one kid who stands out because he can, like, they have this really complicated puzzle that they need to build, and the average kid finished it in 2 to 3 hours, and this kid finished it in like 6 minutes. And the like best score they'd ever seen before was one of the other professors, and he finished in like 38 minutes. So they're really like interested in why this kid is kind of so smart. So they go to visit the mother, and they notice that the mother is, in their words, unremarkable. So they ask who the father is, and then she's basically saying like there isn't a father, like he was an immaculate conception, which they don't really buy at first, but then they figure out that there are 5 other kids just like this across the world who also all have mothers who claim that there isn't a father involved. So the government start being interested in these kids as to why this is happening. And when the kids kind of get wind of this, they band together and then go in hideout. And they have this like mental connection that they can communicate without speaking and things like that. And they can also get into people's minds and make them do things that they don't want to do. And they have like little bit of powers like that. So when the people who essentially want them to go to their embassies and help their governments go to find them, they have two or three of the cops who like they force to kill themselves and to kill each other. So their response is to like send the military after them. Like they have like full on fucking tanks and like military just going after these fucking kids after only like basically 2 or 3 kills. It's a pretty crazy story. I won't say too much more. It's I think it's a sequel to Village of the Damned, if I'm not mistaken. The original I'm talking about, not the Christopher Reeves remake. And in my opinion, it's a film with great performances. Like the kids are absolutely fucking fantastic and really like spooky. They have these like crazy kind of glowing eyes. It's also a really interesting story, and there's a lot of tension. Like you feel so there are certain professors who think they should leave the kids alone. You have certain like people like that work for the government who want to harness this power somehow or figure it out. Then there's other people in the government who want them like especially killed because they feel that they're too dangerous and they're a danger to future society. My issue, and this is probably a modern issue that they didn't feel in 1964, is that I don't think they go horror enough, especially considering that like they sent a fucking military after these kids after like 2 or 3 kills. Like it makes no sense. Like why would they should kill way more and they should show their powers a lot more to warrant that kind of military response. I would think, they need to get the 5-star fucking GTA level before the military comes. This is like a 2-star at best in terms of their crimes. And yeah, I think that's one of my big issues, but it's still a solid film. If you're doing a 1960s list, which I'd love for you to send to us, would help that episode a lot. I would recommend checking it out. I personally gave it a 3 out of 5, but again, it's really more based off, I wish they went further with the horror more than anything. So check it out, Children of the Damned.
Go.
Excellent. One last thing I do want to mention actually is I started a show on Netflix. I'm not going to go deep into this, but it's called Joko Anwar's Nightmares and Daydreams. It's an anthology series, and I watched 2 episodes so far, and it's pretty good. And you guys might know Joko Anwar because we actually reviewed one of his movies, a little movie called The Queen of Black Magic.
Nice.
And he also and he also directed Impetigore, which I believe
Oh,
I know
saw
I
that.
watched it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
which is it's a good one too. So yeah, it's an anthology based series, 2 episodes in so far, and it's pretty solid. Is it anything groundbreaking? Definitely not, but it's a solid anthology series. So yeah, if you have Netflix, I would definitely recommend checking that one out. That's called Nightmares and Daydreams over on Netflix. Alrighty, Totter, bust out the books, baby. I know you got it in front of you.
I got it right here.
Crunch the numbers.
Hold on, let me get my calculator out. Okay, carry the 3 divided by. Okay, here we go. Quarter number 2 in the lead, commanding Steve, 18 points. Myself in the second, 14. Joe right behind me, 13. I think we second to last episode for this quarter, right?
Yeah, I think
my math is correct,
more.
which is never is. First time for everything. I will be leading off tonight.
Oh,
with everyone's favorite, a tagline.
God damn it.
Oh.
All right, get ready. If you are from More High and you get sick, fall on your knees and pray you die quick.
Moorhead?
More High.
Oh.
More High. If
Craven
you are
Moorhead?
from More High and you get sick, fall on your knees and pray you die quick. I will say this is a film from the early 90s.
I was going to say 80s.
Yeah.
More High, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
If you're from More High and you get sick, fall on your knees and pray you die quick.
Clever.
Yes, it is. I will also say the key phrase or the key word here is sick.
Sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you get sick, fall on your knees and pray you die quick.
I have one in mind, but I don't think it's it.
I mean,
I was going to say a Class of Nukem High.
Incorrect.
It's a good guess.
Incorrect.
Yes. I figured the high is high school. So.
Yeah, it's true. I don't even know what More High is, and I've seen this movies right over there.
Can you give us a year? Can you give us the exact year?
1992.
1992.
Yeah. I will even tell you the genre. Slasher.
Oh, slasher.
Oh. 90s, 1992, slasher. Sick, being the
key word. Do you think we've seen it?
I hope so. I know you've seen the cover art.
Okay.
It's one of those iconic covers. Plus, the other tagline, the alternate tagline, would give it away 100%. Okay. So the IMDb tagline is the one I gave you. I have the pin on my backpack that you may have saw this past Monterville weekend or 2 weeks
ago. Probably did.
Going once.
I'll try one more if he doesn't guess.
I can't venture a guess.
I was going to go Bride of Reanimator.
Incorrect. The answer is Dr. Giggle.
Oh, that's the one I've seen. I have. I've seen it.
Long time ago for me. I even have it on Blu-ray, but I just never. It's a double pack with something, and I think I watched the other one.
Yes, I always confuse that one and is it The Dentist a lot?
The Dentists are good. Those are good.
Yeah.
The other alternate tagline for Dr. Giggles is "The doctor is out of his mind."
Yeah,
that's a classic. Anyway,
classic. All right.
Someone else.
I'll go next.
Get my other ones out.
Simple trivia to start off tonight.
Okay.
What is the name of the town in which Tremors takes place?
Gosh.
Add to the book.
It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
I could picture the sign.
It's right.
At least from a poster.
It's on the tip of Steve's wee-wee.
Ooh.
What is it fucking called? What is it called? We're a family-friendly show.
We're not on video yet. It's all right.
That's true. Whoa, Steve, put it away. It's right there.
I don't
Apparently
remember.
not.
Is it a real place? Can you tell us that?
No.
Not as far as you know.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I have no idea.
Todd,
Um,
would you like to venture a guess?
can I just grab the tape real quick?
No.
They mention it several times.
Yeah, I
throughout the
know they
movie.
do. It's right there. I just can't. I can't place it. And is it rainbow?
No, I will say it's a
Where'd I get
word.
rainbow from?
Thank you.
It's
It's
a
a word.
word.
Yes. So it's not a number. Like, what do you mean it's a fucking word?
Is it one? It's not rainbow. That's stupid. What am I
It's
thinking?
7283 Indiana. You know, like
the word.
God damn it.
What is it? What is it?
All right. Well, it's a good adjective for this show actually. Perfection.
Perfection.
Nice.
I knew it was like a. It's kind of what. All right, whatever.
So, because I'm moving this week, I didn't have time to think of trivia, so I went back to the well. Thank you, Kayla.
Oh, Kayla. Kayla.
We always got that list handy. So all three of my questions this week are going to be match the quote to the movie. But just to narrow it down a little bit for you guys, all three movies tonight are ones we reviewed on the show.
Oh, that never helps, but okay.
And it narrows it down to 335. Yeah. All right, first one.
All right, go. We have to give you the movie?
The movie.
Okay.
No, I'll give you the movie. You tell me the quote I'm thinking of. All right.
That could work for certain movies.
Yeah, right. If you had learned just a little from me, you would not beg to live. I am rumor. It is a blessed condition, believe me, to be whispered about at street corners, to live in other people's dreams, but not to have to be.
How deep?
It is
7?
Wrong.
Interview with Vampire.
Wrong. We didn't cover Interview with Vampire.
We didn't? I thought we did.
Nope.
Oh, I forgot your hint altogether. But
I thought one more guess
we didn't cover that movie. I thought we
no,
did.
you did what watch, but you didn't.
We watched it. Live around people's minds. Glorious.
Wrong. Joe, you want one more guess?
What'd you say? It has to do. What was the other hint? I'm sorry.
We reviewed it.
Oh, we reviewed it. Okay.
Yeah. You up?
I feel like it's like a demonic kind of creature, maybe.
Kind of. It was 1992's Candyman.
Candyman. Did Candyman himself say that?
That's our yeah, he did. And that is our interview with Tony Todd episode.
Oh,
yes,
infamous.
We did Candyman and Night of the Living Dead remake that episode.
Awesome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, cool. And another 1992 movie. Apparently, I didn't get the memo that we're doing 1992 movies this week.
Well, I'll give you my theme. 90s movies.
Nice.
I also have a theme this week.
Oh, what is it?
It's town names, American geography. That fucking son of a bitch.
All right, question number 2. 4 clues. Clue number 1: killed. Don't fucking fly off the handle with this one. Killed by a lawnmower. Clue number 2: the Basket Case movie with little Belial fucking hanging around.
Love Basket Case.
Clue number 3: sex workers, also known as ladies of the night and prostitutes, or guys. Anyone can be a sex worker. So we have killed by a lawnmower, Basket Case the movie, sex workers, and the final one is Frankenstein's monster.
Wow.
Frankenstein's monster.
This one's a bit all over the place, huh?
Okay. Killed by a lawnmower.
Yes.
Okay. Basket Case movie.
That one's throwing me off.
Is it Frankenhooker?
It is Frankenhooker.
Yeah. But I don't remember the lawnmower in Frankenhooker.
She gets killed by a lawnmower, like a automated.
Oh yeah, she does. You're right.
Yep.
Interesting. Interesting.
Patty Mullen's babe, dude.
Yep. She's gonna be at a con. I might meet her. I've never had the opportunity.
She's a babe.
All right, is it back to me?
It is. Yep.
All right, guess the movie. based on the IMDb information.
Mhm.
Tonight's movie is from the year 1999.
Mm.
Has an R rating. Clocking in at 1 hour 39 minutes. I don't know if the clocking in ever helps anyone, but maybe it
Well,
does.
you know, sometimes because if
may-
it's really long, then there aren't a ton. Yeah.
All right.
99.
All right. 99 so far. Rated R. 1 hour 39 minutes.
I think I know
All right.
what it is.
Okay. Already.
Well, throw your shot.
No,
Shoot
because
your
I don't
shot,
want to.
playa.
All right. Genres. Supernatural horror.
Stir of
The
Echoes.
Sixth Sense.
It is Stir of Echoes.
Fuck you,
Kevin,
Steve.
Kevin Bacon, Stir of Echoes.
Kevin Bacon stir. You gotta say it right. Come on.
Stir
Yeah.
of Echoes.
Well, I didn't want to say it because if I start with Kevin Bacon, then you could have stolen it. So I went right to Stir of Echoes.
I thought it was Sixth Sense the whole time. Dang.
Yeah. All right. Still match the quote to the movie. Remember, it's the one we reviewed.
Okay.
It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we've been waiting in our houses of wattles and clay. The barriers would be down, you see, between the real and the unreal, and the dead might be looking in and to sit by our fires of turf.
I've no
This is-
fucking clue.
This is a quote.
Yep.
Hit me with it again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we'd be waiting in our houses of wattles and clay.
The fuck is
Barriers would be down, you see, between the real and the unreal, and the dead might be looking in to sit by our fires of turf.
Wow.
Waddles?
We've seen this movie.
You've reviewed this movie, and
We
I
reviewed this movie.
100% guarantee you've seen you know this movie somewhat well.
Somewhat well, so we like it.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds
give
like
us-
an
give us a-
Irish horror movie of some kind.
What was the decade
It,
on it?
it has an Irish connection, a pretty big
Okay.
Irish connection.
Okay, we don't
Okay.
like Survival of the Dead, so it's definitely not that.
Mhm.
Unless Steve's
it-
being a
We
meanie.
didn't review Survival
Oh,
of
that's
the Dead
right.
yet.
We didn't. Well, technically we did.
As a
No,
leprechaun.
Right.
we actually like reviewed. You know,
Leprechaun? Oh, Joe said Leprechaun.
it's not Leprechaun.
All right.
Is it that movie where there's a guy?
Well,
and
there's a
he's
guy
like
in it.
He's a knight and he kills demons for the castle.
No, I'll give you one more hint.
Okay.
I am pretty damn certain that you've all
Legend.
met the star of this film.
Oh.
Doesn't really help.
I met many
Met a
people.
lot of
but
dudes.
yeah.
I mean,
Humble brag.
I'm 100% certain you've met the star of this film.
Okay.
I don't know.
You guys
Jeez.
give up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you met him 2 weeks ago. It is
Wow.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch,
Mm,
Man.
Silver
okay,
Shamrock,
yeah,
the Irish
yeah.
connection.
Dang it.
Interesting. Wow. Cool.
Kayla with the
Halo with the bangers.
the third one is the
Alright.
easiest by far.
Tough
to me.
one.
Okay, we'll see. It's back to me. Okay. In Misery, the movie Misery,
Seen it.
Figured
Yeah,
it.
seen
It
it.
would be the
Everyone's-
movie.
everyone's seen it. How does Annie realize Paul has been sneaking around? I want
He
to know
moved.
exactly.
He moved to the Penguin.
Yes, exactly. Fucking
Mhm.
shit. Fucking
Yes.
unacceptable. Unacceptable. All right.
Damn it!
Yes.
Don't move the Penguin.
Yes. Well, he technically dropped it, and it just he had it facing the wrong way. But
yeah.
I know what you. Yeah, yeah. He moved it. Yeah, of course. All right. 3 letterbox reviews. Guess the movie. Number 1. A very violent Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh,
All right. Number 2. There aren't enough horror movies where the killers wear sweaters.
Friday the 13th.
Correct.
Kevin Bacon themed year.
Yes, Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon.
Oh, damn.
This
Steve's
week.
fucking.
All Kevin Bacon movies.
His powers have been unlocked. I don't know what's going on.
Yep. All right, final one. This is the easiest one of the 3. Remember, we reviewed it.
Okay.
That's your quote to the movie.
Alright.
Be quick, because I'm sure you guys will get this one. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps
Oh.
even a few murders.
House on
Um,
a Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God. Oh, my spreadsheet is not updating. Let me fix the math on this
I was
thing
get-
real
I was
quick.
ready I was ready to say House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, yeah. Well, we also
Alright.
reviewed it, so it would match at least the
Yes.
category.
Gosh damn. Okay. Steve with the huge night. 4 to my
Wow.
minuscule 1 to Joe's nothing.
Ugh.
22. Ooh, that's a commanding lead. 22 to
Right?
15 to 13. Oh my word.
I think he's got this
Think
month,
he's-
but
yeah.
we'll
Oh,
still
yeah.
we'll ride it out.
I'm gonna start looking at the. Yeah, it's actually mathematically impossible.
Yeah,
for
you
guys
won
to catch
because
me.
if I get all 6 points, I still
Yeah, that's
one
right.
behind. Unless Joe makes some worth 3.
Yeah, no. I'll find
Shit.
something good.
I already have another one to watch. Fucking.
We might just want to
geez.
have
You don't know.
pick a movie for next week, and we'll just restart early.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations, Steve,
Mm.
on your trivia.
It's just
win.
quarter 2.
This
You know,
quarter.
it's a whole year.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let's get into it then, gentlemen. Our main event of the night, Hollow Man from the year 2000, directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Kevin Bacon, Elizabeth Shue, and Josh Brolin. Plot: a brilliant scientist's discovery renders him invisible, but transforms him into an omnipotent, dangerous megalomaniac. Wow, a lot of big words, IMDb tonight. But Todd, you also got some big words. Maybe not necessary for the plot, but let's hear it.
No big words tonight. Sebastian, played by our boy Kevin the Bake Bacon, who we just heard as a trivia question. He's a piece of shit, man, and does him turning invisible make him a piece of shit? No, he already is one. All right. Sebastian, this brilliant, fucking cocky douchebag scientist with like one of those little cars that like zooms around, and he's got the top down. He's not obeying any traffic laws because he's Kevin Bacon. He's Sebastian. He's under military contract to make invisibility, right? He's pulled it off with animals. We got dogs, we got gorillas, they're invisible. But the problem is he can't bring them back from being invisible, right? He tries it and it fails miserably and they go crazy. The catch is too, the longer you're invisible, the worse they become. So they start becoming really angry and shit, right? So this little douchebag Sebastian of a person, when he's under invisibility, whatever, he becomes even more of a douchebag, right? So he thinks he's mastered it, and instead of telling the military who he's working for, like, hey, we're gonna go on the next step, he wants to be big dick Bacon here and try it on himself, like human trials, right? So he does it. The problem is they can't get the process to reverse, right? So now he's stuck in fucking invisible form. He's going stir crazy. All his issues that he had before are becoming worse. He used to be with Elizabeth Shue, who's a fellow doctor, and they got divorced or broke up. I forget if they're married or not, but they broke up. And she's seeing another fellow doctor played by Josh Brolin, and that's like a little side hustle she's got going on, right? And of course he's like, "Who you fucking on the side?" And he's like, "I'm not gonna tell you because you're fucking Sebastian. You're weird." We got some other characters in there. They're all part of the doctor team, and they are tasked with like watching him and stuff. And of course, he starts sneaking around. He starts grabbing boobs. He starts going outside and playing tricks on people, and things like that. Saw this one, many moons ago and really liked it. And for some reason, I've just had this movie in my head over the past maybe like 1 or 2 years that I'm like, man, I want to rewatch that. And I just never do. And I'm like, I'm going to rewatch this. Never do. My opportunity to pick a movie. I'm like, let's pick Hollow Man. I still think it's pretty cool. Obviously, like there's gonna be some dated FX here, right? And it sucks when Kevin Bacon is not likable because he's such a likable like person, you know. And then when you don't like him, you're like, man, he's fucking sucks. Like, so that sucks. But I think overall it's pretty fun. Paul Verhoeven is an amazing director. I like the supporting cast. I just wish there was more horror in it, man. Like I remembered it incorrectly. I thought there was like way more of a slasher element, and that really doesn't come into play until the end. Mostly it's just him being a fucking like sexual predator, which never plays well on TV. So, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, man. This is one I hadn't seen in a while, but like I remember it like beat for beat because like it was like just a huge movie. Like because it came out in 2000. I was like 13, so like it just like was. I feel like it was either on TV all the time, or I like watched it once and I sort of like loved it and just watched it all the time. So yeah, I was excited to revisit it, and I mean, I think nostalgia probably plays like a big factor in this, because I do think there's like problems with it. But overall, like you said, I think it's like a super fun movie. It's a really good like retelling of the Invisible Man. Yeah, I mean, I think the effects look good for like a movie that came out in 2000. I mean, I love the the scene where they try to bring him back, and even like the gorilla scene in the beginning. It's just really cool seeing like those effects, and I think they stand up pretty well for the time it came out, because it could have looked way worse. Um, yeah, I agree. Bacon, like even him being a piece of shit here, I still found myself like liking him, which is probably a bad thing because he fucking does some really just terrible stuff in this movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, I dig it, and I think like I like the idea a lot of, sure, he was a piece of shit, but he became worse as time progressed. So like, being in that sort of invisible state made him even crazier. So it made sense of why he sort of breaks the way he does. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, like there's some sexual assault, rape scenes in here that are disturbing, but for the plot, like I think they make sense, right? Like he's going crazy. So like to me, it didn't like I didn't feel like it was like over the top, you know what I mean? Obviously it's tough to watch and stuff like that, but to me it made sense for the plot, so it didn't really bother me like the Raft did a couple weeks ago. And yeah, and I like the end with like the fake blood. Like it really looked cool when they threw it on him and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, is it a horror movie? There's horror elements in here, but it's probably more like thriller, sci-fi. Um, but yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I watched it for the first time, or maybe the only time, when my dad bought it on DVD, like right, or maybe it was even VHS. I don't remember. Right when it came out, and I haven't really thought about it since. We mentioned it maybe a few times on the podcast, but it's not one that like I ever thought I'd ever go like check out again. But I was happy when Todd picked it because, yeah, it's been a long time, and I was curious to see how it held up, and it held up well, like you said, Joe. The like graphically, like CGI is, I mean, it's bad, it's not great, but it holds up pretty well. Like I was in it, like I'd believe like that, it was happening on screen. It's not like I was like, oh my god, this looks awful or anything like that. Particularly when the characters are invisible. Like they did a really good job of conveying invincibility, and that's hard to do because they're invisible. So there's, they always had, whether it be like, he had things stuck to him, for medical purposes, or he had that fucking creepy ass mask that they built for him, which just didn't, like, I don't know why the fuck that they thought that was a good idea or didn't work better. Like they really just threw it on when they had all the time in the world to kind of make it a little bit better than that. Um, there are things I don't like about it. Obviously, the kind of sexual depravity, but like you said, in the Raft, it felt very unnecessary. Whereas in this one, it made sense for that character and for the movie, where he's really kind of descending into this kind of more like crazy ape like creature where he's more on instinct than anything. And he's also a douchebag to begin with. I mean, he's a peeping Tom at the beginning. He thinks of himself as a god, which is, comes into play too. I like the supporting cast. I don't like that they kill animals. That's never cool with me, particularly a dog. And the ending, it's funny because the whole last 15 minutes or so, they're on like this elevator. Like nothing in that to me makes world sense. Like the way the elevator behaves, the way electricity behaves, all that stuff doesn't work at all. But it was fun enough that I'm like, I can forgive it. And that's kind of a Paul Verhoeven thing. Like you just have to kind of you just accept things for what they are, and I enjoyed it.
I do have a question for Joe that I wrote down specifically. Joe, electrician question.
Yes.
Would Josh Brolin and Elizabeth Shue be electrocuted too when they're standing in the water next to him, or is that not what would happen?
Dude, I wrote exactly the same thing. I wrote question for Joe specifically, and the exact same question.
They're like in
Man,
like a foot of water at least, right?
I honestly can't remember like what happens. Like there needs to be like, was he touching something, or did they just throw something on? Is a wire on the ground?
He
Like
was touching something, and they were standing like within like feet of him, and he
it,
got
it
electrocuted to shit.
If they weren't touching him, I think they would
They
probably be
wouldn't
safe. But
conduct
it's
through the water.
But they're
with the
touching
wa-
the water that they're
Oh,
all
if they're touching the
They're standing
water,
in
then
water.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it probably would
unwatchable.
have conducted. Yeah.
Unwatchable. And I want to get to the very ending real quick since you brought it up. I find it very, very hard to believe that on the top of the ladder or top of the elevator, there's a emergency brake that has a step release button.
Yes.
Come on,
Agreed.
who designed that?
I definitely did not buy that at all. I don't think is that a thing on any elevator in the world.
How
I
could
don't
it
think
be?
so.
You know how
Right.
like how severe an accident would be if a maintenance guy just fucking touched it. That was such a stupid concept. The whole elevator thing.
Dude, the whole elevator scene was ridiculous as fuck, but it looked good. So I'm like, whatever. I'll just go
Yeah,
along
it
with
was
it,
like
you know?
action
I
packed.
also
Whatever.
Yeah.
questioned. I also questioned the escape out of if that would actually work too with the defibrillator. Like maybe, right? I don't know. Like the way she escapes from the freezer.
She made a magnet. Wouldn't
Yeah,
She had-
no.
How would she be
Wasn't the
strong
door
enough?
metal?
Yes.
Like, if the
Yes.
door's
That's my point.
metal, the whole fucking thing would move. Like, it wouldn't just move the fucking slider. It would move.
Right.
You
I
stuck
don't
to the
think
whole
it'd be
goddamn door.
possible.
No.
Right.
And every single one of those fridges has an emergency escape thing. They
Oh,
have
yeah.
to.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
like,
Right.
come on, Paul. We got
Maybe,
electrocution.
maybe
thing, we
not in
got
the 90s, though. It's a
yeah,
different
maybe
time.
not.
you
Maybe
know?
not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But I love how there's like a setting to like fucking kill you inside of like it's like negative 75 million. And she like cranks it all the way. I'm like, how's that even feasible? But man, the long ass opening credit scene, I'm like, when is this gonna end? Like, holy shit. But I thought one of the funniest scenes in this movie is when he first goes under as invisible, and then you see his invisible dick flopping around.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, they really added Kevin Bacon's invisible dick in there. That's so fucking funny. With like the heat vision glasses,
Mhm.
which
They never wear for some reason.
right, if you're in this movie, especially towards the end, you're in this movie and dickhead's running around. Why aren't you wearing the glasses at all times? It makes zero sense. They're always like, let me see.
She'll wear it to go take a piss, but she won't wear it when her fucking life's in danger. You know?
Which is the weirdest bathroom of all time because it
Right?
has
It's so
the
huge.
toilet. it's like
On
a
a
20 by
throne?
20 room, and
Yeah.
it has a toilet smack in the middle. I'm like,
Yes.
geez.
I've actually seen I've been in a bathroom like that before, where it's just like one big room with a toilet in the middle. So that is plausible. I have seen it before. It's in weird places, but yeah, so I liked that they were able to explain away the glasses not working though at the end because he turns like the heat up in the facility, you know, so the heat glasses don't work anymore. So I thought that was at least he did that right. Out of all the things he did wrong, at least he explained that one away.
Okay, speaking of unbelievable fucking things, how did he not die from the fucking flamethrower that was
Yes.
directly on
Yes.
him for a
That
long? It's not like he has superpowers. He's just
Exactly.
invisible, right?
Yes, that was dumb as hell. Like, obviously, it looks cool. That was literally just for the effect, right? Like,
Right.
because I mean, he
But
gets
then the skin
electrocuted.
falls off and it's fine.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
like
fine.
so, like he would have died, like
He
for
would've died.
sure, like in that moment, like because it's not like he fucking the electricity killed him, right, or like fucked him up. So like, yeah, you would think like, yeah, he would have got severely burned. He would have been in excruciating pain.
Mhm.
He would have 30-degree burns all over his body, even though you
And the
can't
water's
see it.
hitting it. That
Yeah,
would be
right,
incredibly
yeah.
painful.
Yeah, and it just never like affects him the rest of the movie.
They're also at a military facility, right?
Mhm.
And don't they have like some kind of protocol? Like the whole fucking thing is melting down. It's like there's
There's
water
explosions.
sprinklers going, explosion. No one's like, maybe we should check this out. You know?
What's your stupid thing, Joe?
No, one thing I had an issue with is like when they create his mask, which is cool, right? It looks creepy, sort of, and
Why does he need a mask though?
so he can go out, I guess, right?
No, well, they don't let
and
him out though.
He doesn't
so they
want.
can
Yeah,
see,
they don't want him to go
actually
out.
it's so they can see him, right? So like
Yeah,
he's supposed to put it on, right? But once he starts sort of losing it more and more, but it was supposed to be so they could like actually see and interact with them and look at it's something to look at, right? But they cut out the eye holes, right? And I think they cut out ear holes. But
No, they don't. Not his
they
ear
don't cut
or
out
his
ear
nose
holes.
for some reason.
Or I was saying the biggest problem is his nostrils.
Yeah.
Because like we just to believe he doesn't breathe through his nose anymore. Like that would like literally.
Wouldn't he sound
block
like
his
all
nostrils.
nasally?
Right? Yes, he would.
Hey, let me out of
He
this.
wouldn't hear shit. So like, yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like it was like they thought of all these cool things but didn't fucking think like through any of the logical sense.
I got
of it
more.
made.
I got more weird ass notes. But I want to go So eventually, like, he figures out a way to like fold the camera and he hacks it a little bit, whatever.
Right.
And then he sneaks out. And in the beginning, he was looking at this hot chick across the way in her apartment. And then now he's like, he sees her and he's like, oh, I can just sneak over there and fucking take a peep.
Yeah.
And he goes over there and he rapes her. Um, Obviously terrible. But I'm thinking about like, imagine her point of view.
Yeah.
Imagine it. Like you don't
Horrific.
see, dude. Imagine all like the help she would have to get from a doctor, and no one would fucking believe her that an invisible
Right.
man, you know,
Like,
or
does she even know what happened though? Right? Like, is she
No.
like, did like a ghost just rape me? Like, what? Like,
Basically,
what is her
right,
thought? Like, you know what I mean? Like the thought process. Yeah, she's gonna be like severely fucked in
right,
the head. Yeah, it's brutal. Like, yeah. And they don't hold back too. They like show like her basically being thrusted at one point,
yeah,
which
And all the
signifies
bruisers
what
and shit
happened.
after, and yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's bad. Yeah.
yeah,
brutal. And I feel like maybe it was a bit of too far too quick because like he hadn't like really lost it per se yet, I feel like. And it was
yeah.
sort
He
of the
went from
first
nothing to
really,
rape, huh?
yeah, it was sort of like the real first terrible thing he does.
Jeez,
Well, he does grope that woman's breast
He
too,
does.
he
actually,
Yeah.
does. He
right?
grabs her boob.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's tough to say though because for some reason, and I fucking hate this in movies. Please stop doing this in movies. There are a lot of it was just a girl's dream or imagination. You
yeah.
know, we see like three scenes
Right.
I think of that. Like, god damn it! Like the reality's like bad enough. We don't need to see these fucking scenes.
I
Right.
agree. And you know, it's something that, particular in this movie too. There's a lot of horniness going on, but he touches a lot of women when they're sleeping, and
Mhm.
every single one of those reaction is oh, and they start moaning. I touched my wife, dude, and she fucking like, don't fucking touch me. Like when she's
Yeah.
sleeping, like, don't fucking touch.
Right.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
works with you guys same way, but I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And then like the transition is always like, it was the same exact scene. He's stroking them. Oh yeah, and then they freak out or they wake up or something. It's the same scene like 3 or 4 times in this movie. It's just like, do something
Mhm.
else. But I agree, like the escalation from grabbing a breast to full on fucking rape and then damaging her for the rest of her life. Like there's not a lot of transition there. Like
Yeah,
the
because he
dog
doesn't kill
killing
the.
scene
I was gonna
is
say, does he
after.
kill the dog
Yeah.
after? It's after
It's
this, right?
after, yeah, it's
I
right
Yeah.
think they
after, basically.
so I think they fucked up. I think he should have killed the dog
Mm,
first
Hmm.
and
yeah,
then went to this because like that escalation would have made more sense to
Yeah.
me.
I would have liked to see him out on the town a little bit more too. Like
Yeah.
walking and pushing someone in front of a car or something like that.
Oh
Like
shit.
imagine how like crazy that scene would be.
Yeah.
Like you're just
Yeah.
oh fuck, and you're like thrown in front of the car. But like yeah, there definitely need more escalation because it's kind of like as terrible as he did the dog, smashing him against the cage.
Mhm.
It's like you started as hard as you can go with a rape, and then you kind of step back to a dog, and then like it's just I don't know. It was a weird series of events that
Mhm.
kind of out of place.
Yeah. I mean, they gave us like obviously like it wasn't just him either, right? The animals, because like they were saying the gorilla too, like started going
Yeah,
like a little crazier and stuff like that.
which
So I
they are
mean,
so chill about this
but like
gorilla
why?
running around.
Why is that though? Like, why are these things like? Is it the agent that they give them that is turning them crazy, or is it
I
just
think
like,
so.
yeah,
Yeah. I think it's whatever they're giving him.
whatever
That's
this medicine that makes you invisible
yeah.
slowly starts to fry
Something
your
that
brain?
I kind of wish they started going in this direction, but they kind of abandoned it. Is so his coworkers obviously think he's a piece of shit,
Right.
and they talk shit about him like behind his back. And there's that scene where they're in the like break room or whatever, and they're talking shit about him, and it turns out that he was sitting there the whole time.
Mhm.
They should have really gone in that direction, and that's
Yeah,
what starts leading him into kind of the spiral. Is that he's starting to realize that people don't see him as the god that he thinks he is, and it makes him angry, and he starts acting up on it. But they really don't explore that after really that scene, and that's a shame because that could have been kind of a reason for him
yeah.
kind of going apeshit.
They easily could have made him likable too by making
Mhm.
his supporting cast like essentially imprison him, and then like they're doing all these
Yeah,
experiments because at one point you feel bad for him because he's like, I'm fucking tired of being my blood drawn and I can't close my eyes. It sucks. So I think
Mhm.
they easily could have left out the sexual assaults, right? And then made the supporting cast like not be empathetic to his situation. And then to C's point, like they're making fun of him and complaining, and then he snaps. I think we would have been a cooler movie. I think because we actually
I
care
agree.
for
Yeah.
what's his
Agreed. Yeah.
face.
I agree. I think they should have made him like a good person in the beginning and not a complete dickhead. And then like, yeah, you actually care about him rather than him just being an asshole right off the bat. And you're like, oh, well, now he's just even more of an asshole. Yeah, make him a likable character. And I think, yeah, I think this would have even been better. I agree.
Yeah, and you have the snapping point when he finds out that his ex is with the other dude, right? That's like
Right.
that.
I mean, who
that,
wouldn't it
that
be? It's Josh Brolin. Come on.
right?
She's
So
still
that,
kind.
Look
She's
at
still
him.
kind of. She still kind of wanted Sebastian, though. I
She
feel like there
wanted
was
it,
still
dude.
that sexual tension was like still there, and she definitely wasn't like shying away when he was like sort of like feeling up on her and
Yeah,
stuff like that, and she was kind of into it. So
she liked it.
yeah,
yeah, but I don't think that moment was as strong as it should have been. You know, that should have
Mhm.
been a huge reveal that really drove him over the edge. But it really
Yeah.
wasn't. I mean, he broke the window, sure, but I don't feel like that was what the catalyst that really kind of broke him. You know, and that should have been that, especially the way they were setting it up, is that she's hiding, you know, this relationship from him, and you know, making a point of going in different cars and shit like that. So yeah,
Yeah, because like he really doesn't snap until like he realizes they went to the general, right? And like all this the generals and stuff and sort of snitched on him that he did this shit. That's what really sets him over the edge. Yeah, man. Like what wouldn't they all like be tossed into jail like instantly, right? Like you're going against like
I
government
don't know.
orders.
I think
Yeah.
the government would be
They'd
psyched.
probably kill you. Right?
I
Like,
don't know. I don't
this is
think
something
so.
you can't. Is this something like this is something you don't want getting out there, right? Like, I mean, this is like top secret shit.
Yeah, but they're gonna give it to soldiers. You know, they're gonna.
Right.
You know,
Well, that is their goal, right? They can give it
right.
to soldiers in war and stuff.
Yeah. But you would think they'd be psyched, like, fuck yeah, he did it, little prick.
Right.
Like, and he totally just drowns that fucking guy.
Dude,
Which, think of it from the wife's perspective, him just flailing about and like getting, like, dude, stop
Right.
dunking yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Get out
man.
of the pool.
She probably thought he was drunk again or something. She's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Harry's drunk in the pool again.
You know what- Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go. No.
All right, fine. You know what I hate in movies? This is a huge Todd gripe. Every
Yeah.
time they show a hack, right? They're hacking a system, right? So Sebastian hacks the fucking elevator where only his voice can his code will work, right? So everyone else is like they can't get out. So one of the hackers is like, I can hack into it. But why in every hacking scene in the 90s they show a 3D model of the entire building? We need to know where the door frame is in this building. We need to know the fucking laundry. Like I cannot stand that. Why is there code on the door? Makes zero
Right.
sense. I hate it.
yeah. Another Todd gripe I have that always happens in movies is when they crack the code, right, of like whatever mystery they're doing, it's always like at home at night in their fucking PJs or whatever. It's
Eating
never like
Twinkies.
they're never like at the office, you know, actually working and like, fuck, I figured it out. No, it's always like at night. And then they always have to call people at like 3 a.m. like, oh my god, I cracked the code. And like, really, you cracked the code? Let's get to him. Every
Let's go
movie
to-
does that.
yeah.
It's
Let's go to the
crazy.
office right now.
Yeah.
Wake up the general.
What was his game plan? Like if he did escape, like I guess he just remains invisible like the rest of his
Yeah, and
life.
fuck
I guess
around
like
and-
somewhere.
yeah.
And
I don't know.
Yeah.
Going to watch UFC fights and stuff.
Have
for
you
free?
guys
you
ever
could-
seen Memoirs of the Invisible Man?
No.
no,
So it's a Chevy Chase movie, but like a little more serious than what you would expect Chevy Chase to be in, and that's kind of what it's about. It's like what would be life like for a guy who's invisible all the time. It's really fascinating. You should.
Is it
really
a
check
sequel
out.
to Invisible Man? Like unofficial sequel?
Kind of, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
is there?
Um,
So I've actually never seen the. I don't think the original. Is there any like sexual depravity in like the original Invisible Man?
he's a. I remember him being a giant piece of shit in that movie too. I don't remember if he raped anyone though.
Because there's obviously in the remake or whatever, the one with what's her face here that we watched recently.
Yeah. What's her name?
Kate,
Isn't
is
it?
it Elizabeth Moss?
There it
right?
is.
It
Yep.
is. It is.
Yeah, because there's like quite a lot in that one as well. Like she was in an abusive relationship and stuff, and I think does she end up getting raped in that movie, or there's some
I don't
sort of
think so.
sexual assault? I feel like he
There's
assaults
something
someone
in the
that
shower.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a handprint which I got in a fucking
I
damn
was like,
box.
in
It's just
all
a
of it's-
handprint.
I just find it
Yeah,
I just
know.
find it I find it really interesting that like they all like sort of the filmmakers always go to like depravity, like when you're invisible, right? Like I guess it is like the one thing a lot of people think of, like, oh well, if
It'd
I'm
probably be
invisible,
what
like
you
I'm
guys
gonna go
do.
into the women's shower, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
me and Sam like had this discussion. I was like, she's like, oh, all men would do that. I was like, no. I was like, men. I don't think most men. obviously like there's fucked up men, right? But most men, I think, would obviously like go into a girl's. I'd be like, you'd go
Oh,
into like a
she
girl's
said
locker
most
room.
men would
Yeah,
rape people.
yeah,
Oh
like or do
no,
something
no,
sick.
no, no, no,
And
no.
I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think
Mhm.
most men would just go and like to a woman's locker room,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And just like
oh
watch
yeah,
a woman change, which is still fucked up, right? But like, I think most women would do the same thing,
oh yeah,
like, it would just be, I said it would be more like voyeuristic stuff, right? Like
yeah.
where you're sort of like peeping Tomming, but I'm like, you're not fucking like going and just like, you have to be like a different
No,
kind of fucked up to go and like rape someone.
yeah, no. That's no. I would do like a lot of pranks.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing stuff. I would pretend I was a ghost, stuff like just harmless stuff. Maybe make someone go crazy. I don't know. But
Take
imagine just like
take a dump in someone's bed while they're sleeping or something.
okay,
You're
but
like,
the
oh,
dump
what's that
the
smell?
the
Would your shit be invisible too? I guess it
it
would be,
has.
right?
Well, I was
Like,
gonna ask if your jizz would be, but I didn't want to ask, but now I am. So everything. Because did we ever see his blood? Because he got beat up. Wait, we saw his skin.
What wasn't his puke invisible?
Yes, it
yes,
was.
it
So
Yes, it
was.
yeah,
So
was.
I
yeah.
guess your shit, your piss, like
But
everything
why
would
would
be
his
invisible.
burned skin be visible? It's still his skin.
I guess because it burned, so you would
Yeah.
see like the
Uh,
color change, like the heat.
I
It's like every time the
guess.
heat changes, right? Well, because they throw the blood on them,
And the
like you see
water
the
and
blood,
like
like, yeah.
the
Well, that's
So like when,
smoke and all that stuff. Yeah.
right. So
I
I guess
guess.
like when your skin burns, you would see that burn,
What was the original
section.
question though? Before?
If you
Um,
Oh,
would.
if your shit was
Yeah,
invisible?
and it would be so.
Imagine you step in shit, but you don't see it,
you
Right.
get the,
and you're
you
barefoot. You're like, what the fuck? It feels just like shit. And then you feel, and then you smell your fingers like this is shit, but there's no shit on the ground.
You can get
That'd be
really
so
crazy with
funny,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, just be shitting all over the place.
I'm just thinking like taking a shit in someone's house.
Oh my god, we lost
somewhere
Joe.
like put it on
You just
top of a
like
shelf. They'll never find it.
you just sit there and watch people and they're like, why does it smell like shit in here? And they just can't find
It's
the
just
shit.
you're just farting.
Yeah.
You
Like
just
fart in someone's
like
face while they're sleeping. Like, oh, what's that smell?
oh my gosh, man. Oh,
This
just
is
fart. A lot of pink eye
what a
spread.
this might be my new favorite episode.
What? Okay. So we all admitted that we're going to girls' locker room. I know.
I think
Girls will
that's
do the
just
same thing.
normal human nature. Like it's
Yeah.
just pure curiosity.
I would definitely go sneak into movie theaters, sporting events, everything
Sporting
you have to
events,
pay
yeah.
for to get in. I would fucking sneak in, obviously.
Would you like rob a bank? Like, right? Would you
It'd be
go
tough
steal
though
money?
You
because
see the money walking around.
Yeah, you can't see the money flying around. You know.
You can essentially live like a king if you're invisible, right?
But you like,
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, right.
Just
Because you
eat,
could
like, sleep
squat.
wherever you want,
Like you
yeah.
can, you can like eat go into people's houses. Like
It's also
eat their
annoying because
food
you have to
and-
be always naked. Like you can't wear
That's
any
true.
clothes.
What if
It's,
you're fucking
Yeah.
cold?
Yeah,
Where,
right.
where would you have to
cold.
live then? Like,
Well, you could like
Mexico
hop
or
on a
something?
plane, right? Then you just like go on a plane. And you can fly wherever you want. Like not pay for it.
And you have to
like-
Yeah,
be
but
in
what
a
if it's a
seat
full
that-
flight, though?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of logistics that
you just shit in the fucking plane.
I mean, yeah. Like, I guess someone would feel your weight, right? Like if you sat on someone's lap or something.
if you
like
got in the
that.
car,
Like,
yeah,
they
it
would feel
would
all
shift.
that. Like, yeah,
it's a complicated.
It's complicated.
it is.
That's
I guess you could sit in the cockpit, like just like on the floor, like the pilots went.
Yeah.
Like, but what? Like, but what would happen if they did like know you were there? Like they just trip over you, and be like, what the fuck was that? Like they wouldn't be like, oh man, there's an
It's this
invisible man
shit.
here.
Yeah.
That's not like the first thing anyone would go to. Be like, oh my god, there's an invisible person.
okay.
Like,
But you know how sometimes like when we've all been there. You get fucking sweaty, you get that swamp ass, you sit on something
Mhm.
plastic and you leave a butt imprint. You would be leaving butt imprints all over the fucking
Yeah.
place.
yeah,
Like-
well, like, and even like, yeah, like you do because you do see like his imprint, like when
Yeah,
he's
you do,
sitting,
in the
like
chairs,
so
yeah.
people would like be like, what the fuck is that? You know?
So if you slapped your hand down on something, you would leave prints, right?
Mhm.
Or no? Or would you?
I would think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right?
it depends.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you shave your hair and it's no longer attached to your body, is it therefore?
I
still
think it's
invisible?
I think it's like the puke. I think because it came from
Okay.
your body, it's invisible.
Yeah, because his hair's invisible. Like he wasn't bald when
Right.
he became invisible. So yeah, like
Can
literally
you
everything's
can't see
invisible.
yourself either, right?
No,
No,
it's not a vampire.
unless you wear the mask. Like, would you like buy a mask so you could like have some sort of normal life like here and there?
I think every now
Like
and then,
go
yeah.
out and
Yeah.
They make
'Cause
some
otherwise
pretty
you
realistic
probably would go legitimately insane. I think like if you were
Mhm.
invisible at all times. Like I could see
Halloween
that.
would be legit.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. What other funky shit can you get into? Shitting on the shitting is just so funny. And then you just wipe your ass and just
Oh my
leave,
god.
just leave it.
Just like,
Who
yeah.
the fuck? Yeah, because you have the smell of a shit. There's no shit, but then there's toilet paper covered in. No, it's not even covered in shit.
No.
This shit smears invisible.
Oh my
I would,
God.
yeah.
He
I would,
he just wound it back up.
I, I I would fuck with like sporting events too, like trip players.
Yeah, absolutely. You
my
can
gosh.
help your
Deal,
you can
like,
help your
that's how
favorite
you get
team,
money.
right?
That's how you get money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
bet
bet
all
on
the bets.
bet
Yeah.
on the games.
And
Yeah.
you just fucking like take Tom Brady's knees out when he's not looking, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, they lost.
You can like
Yeah.
hold the baseball. You could be like angels in the outfield, like you hold their bat and and stuff
That'd be
like
amazing,
that.
dude. Man, that'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
Would you want to be invisible if it was permanent?
No,
I
probably
don't
not.
know. I don't think so.
But you don't go crazy. You're just normal.
Well, that you don't know. I mean, you
Well,
probably would
okay,
go
but
crazy.
that's the scenario. You don't go crazy. Like
Right.
like no one knows you're invisible unless
I
you
don't
like
know.
choose to.
It's
tell
weird,
people.
right? Because like you have to think of like the people in your life, right? Because like, would your wives like be okay with like you being
Some crazy
like,
sex games,
you know what
dude.
I mean? Right, but like still, but like yeah, like it'd be like, would they like? Could you connect with someone if they're invisible like all the time? You know what I mean? Like the same
Sure.
as like in the physical form. So like it's tough. Like you could lose like pretty like a lot of people in your life and stuff like that. So
Mm.
it'd be interesting. But like I said, if like I think I would, as long as I could sort
Revert
of like
back.
wear
Turn
like
it off.
where
On.
revert back, or like at least like be able to sort of, I guess, like wear masks like
Yeah.
that at least somewhat look like me. Although it'd still be kind of creepy, right? Like you're looking at a person, but like they kind of look like, because he kind of looks like almost like a burn victim, sort of like, even when he
Sure.
does wear the mask. So it's kind of like a little weird and
It's a
creepy.
very shoddy
like,
mask, though.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do they have a bunch of liquid latex lying around?
Yeah, who
Like
knows?
0%. They fucking
That
these scientists.
lab was hooked up. Yeah,
Yeah. Why is it
Yeah.
deep underground for
Government, man.
invisibility? Like,
The
It was
government, yeah.
super secretive, like top secret.
and they have like
project.
a burn. Wait, no. There wasn't no self-destruct. He just set up some bombs. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the flamethrower thing? Like, how did she
It
get
wasn't a
that? Was
flamethrower.
it was like a tank, right? Of some
Air
like
tank
yeah.
and
flammable.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. Why is that
Um,
down there though? I guess they're doing
Just
testing.
you never know what you
Just
might
go with it.
need. You might need to make
Yeah.
a mask. You might need to
Yeah,
burn
man.
someone alive.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't
Yeah.
know. Also,
And there's
another.
like and the chemicals like he made the explosives with. They had some really fucking
You don't know what you
dangerous
need.
shit down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is that? But it's an invisibility project. They're
That's
like,
true.
oh yeah, we need like this fucking the most explosive fucking materials in the world.
Yeah. All right. So one more last scrap I have here is, you know how they pulled Josh Brolin out of the fridge, and
Yeah.
like he
Yeah.
would have been fucking frozen solid, but whatever.
Mm.
So they pull him out, and then she lights a fire with printer paper. That fire will last like 5
Yep.
seconds.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
not doing shit, man. So I don't know. Yeah,
No.
you got to have something bigger than that. That thing can go out quick, and he's like,
Mhm.
and that saves him. Like, get the
Yeah,
fuck outta here.
completely thought him out. Like,
Yeah, he's I'm fine. And then something that's really funny to me was when the one dude gets like, I forget, his neck gets ripped or something,
Yeah.
and they
He's
don't leave him,
choking him, yeah, and then
which
I
is
think-
weird because they show him with superhuman
Yeah.
strength there too, because he lifts him
Yeah.
up, and that guy's like 200 pounds. Like, no fucking way.
Well, I thought he still probably wouldn't be able to lift it, but I think he put something around his neck, right? He was on top of the pipe, so he was able to sort of. But
I
still,
guess, but you're
yeah.
like deadlifting a man with just
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy, like, they say a line where he's like, he would have died, and he's like, he's dead. I'm like, okay, well, that was worthless.
That was a brutal death, though, man. That was a
Yeah.
brutal way to go for him.
yeah.
That was probably I'm trying to think of the worst. What
Snaps
happened to the
that
other
chick's
ones?
neck.
Yeah, she gets it the best actually because he tranks her.
Yeah,
Right,
he does.
so
That's
she's
right.
out of it,
Yeah.
and then he snaps her neck, so she actually gets the least painful. Then the other woman, I think he just
She gets like a
strangled
spear,
to
right?
death.
Yeah, no, he's the one of the scientists is a spear. She gets strangled
Mm.
with like a rope or something, or
Mhm.
some kind of cord.
How'd you like her haircut? I wasn't feeling her haircut. The
Yeah, it was
pixie
okay.
cut. I wasn't liking it. She was a very attractive
yeah.
woman, but I wasn't liking it.
Mhm.
What else we got? Josh Brolin
Yeah.
gets hit with like a fucking pipe, and then he's fine.
He's fine. No, so
He's
it's
good.
it's
Well,
a flesh
She
wound.
put some duct tape on
Yeah.
it. It's not a
Duct
big
tape,
deal.
he's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
just some
yeah.
duct tape on.
He
no
almost
problem.
froze to death, but I lit a receipt on fire. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in this movie are fucking like, yeah, way
You know
strong.
who? You know who really likes him though is the guy that
Yeah.
gets lifted up. He was into it, dude. He
Yeah,
wanted to
Yeah,
watch
he
it.
was.
Like,
Yeah, he was.
He's like asking all the questions,
He's
like,
like, yeah, what you
Yeah.
"What'd
did?
you do? Did you something you're horny?" You just,
Yeah. Everyone, yeah, everyone else was like terrified of him, and he's like, "Yeah, man, let's."
Is that shit?
I think he would have volunteered too. I think he would be
Oh
like, "All
yeah,
for
for
it."
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And then they kill him, right? They
yeah,
fucking
it was his
he
only
just gets
ally.
he
Yep.
just gets thrown into the fire, right? And
Oh
that's how he
yeah, yeah.
goes.
Oh, at
Yeah,
the end, yeah.
at the end, yeah.
Which will it kill him? Who knows? Maybe there's is there a Hollow Man too?
There is Hollow Man too, but it's
It's,
not
it's
Kevin
nothing to do
Bacon.
with this. Yeah.
It has
Mm.
what happens in. So let's hear. I want to hear what happens in Hollow Man
It's
2,
been
'cause I've never
so
seen it.
long, but I only remember them fighting in the rain. That's about it.
So
It's-
is it
it's-
like it's a whole different story, like
Yeah.
completely?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's on the double feature of the Blu-ray I have. It's been so long. I just remember that one scene.
I'm gonna have to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably a
curious.
lot of I'd imagine more salts,
Yeah, it's probably like
More
eating and
depravity.
shitting on the floor.
yeah,
And,
it's probably like American Psycho 2, just not
Ugh.
good. Yeah.
yeah. Dude, imagine just like
Hollow-
tapping people's
Christian
shoulders.
Slater?
Oh man.
Really?
Well,
Christian Slater in
whatever
Hollow
happened
Man
to
2?
Christian Slater?
We
I saw him in
some-
The Office like 10 years ago, and that was it.
He was in
I
something
saw-
recently,
He was in something
actually,
recently
yeah.
that we watched. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what it
he
is, though.
was. Yeah, I can't remember.
Remember Broken Arrow? That was cool.
Yeah, that was
He
good.
wasn't
John
in
Travolta.
Frosted. One of Steve's. I know Steve loved that one. So.
Very much.
Frosted? Like Frosted Flakes?
It was unfrosted. I'm sorry,
Unfrosted.
But,
Oh yeah, that's right. He
Pop-Tarts,
was.
I
he
didn't
was
watch
in
it.
that.
I saw Steve gave it like a half a
It's
star or something
fucking
like that.
awful.
On Letterboxd.
Holy shit, is that movie fucking bad?
But yeah, so Hollow Man 2 is, let me read this synopsis real quick. A Seattle detective and a biologist are on the run from a dangerous invisible assassin gone rogue. So there
Nice.
you go. Clocking
Well-
in at 4.4 over on IMDb.
Oh, I thought on Letterboxd.
I was
Damn,
gonna say,
that's
god
good.
damn.
Oh God, Letterboxd, jeez.
Yeah.
No, but all right. Speaking of Letterboxd,
Oh,
we should probably rate this movie, huh?
we
Rate
should.
it, rate it.
I'll start us off. Yeah, man, I was like teetering between like when I was a kid. This movie was probably close to a 5, honestly, unrealistically. But like watching it here, like I was like, man, like feels like I was like I want to give it a 4, but I'm like, does this really deserve a 4? Like I don't know, like so I'm back and forth like between a 3.5 and a 4, but I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5, just because I don't know if it truly deserves a 4. I think nostalgia is probably playing a big factor in this one in my head. So I think I'm pretty comfortable at a 3.5 out of 5 on this one.
I'm right there with you for the same reasons. Like, there are a ton of issues with this movie, but I really enjoyed the conversation because it's just fucking ridiculous. If you really pull this movie apart, it's awful and it's dumb, doesn't make sense. But if you don't, if you just have a good ride with it, it's super fucking cool because how sleazy it gets, man, and how like rewarding it is to have that motherfucker plunge to his death in a fiery ball of fucking elevator gas, acid bomb, whatever the fuck they did. Yeah, so I'm at 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, trifecta tonight. Also
Nice.
3.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's dumb, but it's fun. Like I had fun watching it. It's entertaining. I just wish there was the horror came maybe a little bit sooner and a better like reason for it. But yeah, I had a fun time watching it. It felt a little long at times. Like okay, let's get to the point. But
Yeah.
I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, it is almost 2 hours, which is a
Yeah.
little too long. Like I remember when I put this on at first, I was like, "What the fuck? This movie's 2 hours long." I was like, "Dang, it's like too long for a movie like this." But Letterboxd doesn't agree with us as much. This one sitting at 2.8 currently over on Letterboxd, so we're a little higher, but that's all right. We're right. They're wrong. All right. That is, I think, going to be about it, gentlemen. Great discussion this week. A pretty funny one, honestly. Next week, what do we got, Steve?
So it's my pick, and it just happens to fall on the episode that will release close to Canada Day. So I'm picking a Canadian film by the name of Hobo with a Shotgun, which was one of the fake trailers in the Grindhouse, like double feature that came out, years ago. So this will be actually second. So one day we'll have to do Machete so we can complete the
Yeah,
the
true.
trailer trilogy. But yeah, Hobo with a Shotgun. I've seen it before. I have it on Blu-ray. I think it's fun. I know Todd has also seen it, but Joe
Like it a
hasn't.
lot, yeah.
So I'm really curious what you think. But Rutger Hauer, can't go wrong. He's fantastic actor. A lot of, for you Canadian folks, you'll recognize a lot of like Canadian actors in it, and yeah, it's a fun time.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to watch it, and everyone else, you can watch it free pretty much everywhere. I see it's on Tubi, Crackle, Pluto TV, Sling TV, so you can check it out pretty much anywhere you want for free. So check out Hobo with a Shotgun for next week. And will we get? I think is Werewolf Women of the SS the last like fake trailer that hasn't actually gotten a movie at this point?
Edgar
Oh, that's
Wrights
right.
don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we
So-
got Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nice. Sweet.
Yep. So, all right. That's going to be it once again, ladies and gentlemen, for this week's episode. Don't forget, follow us on our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Just search the Horror Squad Podcast. You can also email us anytime, the Horror Squad Podcast at gmail.com. But, of course, the absolute best way to keep up with the podcast is our Discord. Totally free to join. It's linked over on our Instagram, or send us an email or a DM, and we will get you a link to join that Discord. A ton of channels to go through over there, including Movie Club, which will be coming up next week. We sit down every month, watch a movie with all the fellow Discord people and stuff, and it's a really good time. Plus, there's a ton of other stuff over there as well. So join our Discord. It's a lot of fun. Don't forget important dates. October 11th through the 13th in Salem, Massachusetts. It's just a bunch of Halloween weekend with the cast of Hocus Pocus. Just head to the website. It's just a bunch of Halloween.com for any and all details. Also, if you'd like to buy merch, tpublic.com, the Horror Squad Podcast. That's also linked over on our Instagram. We got a ton of designs over there to pick from. Probably a new one coming around Christmas time. Hint, hint. We'll see about that. But yeah, keep up to date with that. And also leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. That helps the podcast a lot, gets word spread out there. Or spread the word yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Go out there, tell a friend, tell your grandma.
Tell your mailman.
Tell your mailman. Go to the nursing home. Just start playing it over the loudspeaker. Go to the supermarket, play it there. Do it all. And spread the word of the Horror Squad Podcast. We would greatly appreciate it. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week for Hobo with a Shotgun. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.